Christmas came early. Listen to this sound. Oh, 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 oh.
No sleep till
This is just beautiful. Okay, now I can clearly see what everyone has said about the speedometer. It's very difficult to tell what speed you're going. And also, I'm pretty tall. I'm gonna get stuck at a red light. But that sound is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with this. It's beautiful. I love that. That's so cool. I love that the wheel lock is up here. I love that you don't ruin the sleekness of it with the key being in front of you. Even like these handlebars are so interesting, the way that they're made. It's like everything about this just kind of comes together perfectly, and it's beautiful. It's such an amazing bike, such an amazing machine, because it's got everything that I want in a bike. It's got everything that I've been looking to get in a bike. I love the bike I have, but this is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that it's considered like the Harley killer is amazing, because I've always been curious, can someone make a Sportster that can defeat a Harley? And truly, based on everything I've seen about the Harleys, Yamaha has done this, and based on what I've ridden for so far, it's a no-brainer. It's a beautiful, wonderful machine. I'm kind of hoping that it's not a case of never meet your heroes, because I've never had highway pegs before. I honestly don't feel like I'm going 70 right now. Like, it doesn't feel that way at all. Okay, highway pegs are a very weird feeling. Just gonna say that right off the bat. Not quite sure if I like them or not. I feel like I would like them a little bit more if I was a little shorter. So it's still a little bit small of a bike for me. It wants to go fast. It wants to be this machine that just takes you from point A to B like that. Like, it's so amazing. It's such a wonderfully made, such a beautifully made machine that it's like, how am I going to get this back to my stepdad? I honestly don't know. Now, I'm not going to be putting as many miles on it as I like want to be able to put on it in the next few days, but I am going to spend a week with it. I am going to love it. I am going to drive it from point A to point B a lot, kind of try to figure out how much I like it, try to figure out the pitfalls and all that. Right now, in all honesty, I'm not having a huge problem with the speedometer, except for the fact that it's so low. But that's also because I'm really tall and I'm sitting up very straight. I don't know if that's, I mean, that's how I believe I should be sitting. Like I said, I've never driven a bike with forward controls like this. I've always driven it where my legs are underneath me, and that's just how it's been. I do feel though that I have to have a pretty wide stance so as to not burn my legs, but this is actually extremely comfortable. Like, extremely comfortable. I honestly wasn't sure about this seat, but genuinely, it's honestly comfortable as can be. I was a skeptic when I first got on this bike. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like the seating position. I love the sound, I love everything about it. I was kind of nervous about the ride and all that, and about being lower to the ground that I'm used to. I am sitting much lower in the ground than on my bike, However, that's not a complaint. Oh shit. I'm gonna end up buying a bike soon. That's not a good thing. I mean, it's a great thing, but it's not a good thing for my wallet. Oh! And it's gonna have to be one that sounds like this. It's gonna have to be that way. There's no other way to describe it, no other way to explain it. It's gonna have to be a bike that sounds like this. Okay, now I can tell what you mean by the speedometer. You can't see the shit. Yeah, I can't tell where the damn how fast I'm going. I mean, there's no tachometer either. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that they put a digital speedometer. I love that Yamaha is trying to be chill and copacetic and trying to like go into the new era, but at the same time, there's a line that you draw when it comes to the new digital BS. I feel like a digital speedometer is where that line is, where you cross that line. So, like I said, this is my stepdad's bike, so there are a few things that he pointed out to me about it that are very annoying. The speedometer was pointed out to me by YouTube, basically, a bunch of different people. When I started, like, when he bought the Bolt, I was like, what the hell is a Yamaha Bolt? When I looked, I was like, oh my god, I have to ride that. I have to figure out what that is. And then he gave me this opportunity to ride it, and I love it, but at the same time, there's certain things about it that he mentioned to me as well that was just like, not really too sure how I feel about them either. So the first thing that he mentioned was the mirrors. Pretty sure it's actually the only thing he mentioned that he finds annoying so far. He's only put a couple hundred miles on. He's only filled it up like 3 or 4 times, if that, he said. So I mean, in the few months that he's had it, he hasn't even been able to really piece it together, like what he loves and what he hates and all that. And I'm kind of taking like a long route right now just to piece everything together. But she's like, you'll probably hear it coming. I was like, is it loud? She goes, that might be an understatement. I would definitely say that's an understatement. I would definitely say that this is much louder than I thought it was going to be. What's up, bud? There's that Grom with the really long chain. Can the Grom scare a little kid? No. Can the Yamaha Bolt scare a little kid? Yes. Just after riding it for a little while, I can already tell what I love about it, what I don't like about it. And to be honest, the pros definitely outweigh the cons. And by that, I purely mean that really the only cons are the mirrors. I need to get used to them, I think, and the speedometer. I can't figure out anything else that people have a problem with this bike. I honestly, genuinely cannot.